Board of Ethical Conduct. Today is March 8th, 2021, and it is 10:01. I'll now ask our Metro Clerk, Ms. Waits, Board Secretary, to take
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Carpenter. I see you're present. I think you're on mute. Ms. Carpenter is present. Ms. Gianni.
present.
Mr. Mendez.
I'm here.
Ms. Mohan.
Present.
Mr. Patton.
Present.
Mr. Richards.
Here.
We have all 6 members present, Chair.
Thank you. May I have a motion to conduct essential business electronically?
Motion.
And a second.
Second.
So second.
Have a motion that this is essential business of the board and conducting it electronically is necessary to protect the public health, safety, and welfare. We have a second. So Ms. Waits, can you take roll call?
Carpenter. Yes. Thank you. Ms. Gianni.
Yes.
Ms. Mohan.
Yes.
Mr. Patton.
Yes.
Mr. Richards. Okay, thank you. 5 in favor, none against.
Thank you. Okay, let's move to item number 3, which is approval of the minutes. We have 2 sets before us in the package. Minutes from the meeting of November 23rd, 2020, and minutes from the meeting of December 14th, 2020. Unless our legal counsel objects, I'll do them together.
That is fine. Thank you.
Okay. So everyone has them in the package and has had, I assume, a chance to review them. So unless there's any initial questions, I'll ask for a motion to approve of the minutes of the meeting, our meeting of the 23rd and the November 23rd and December 14th. May I have such a motion?
Motion.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Any changes? Hearing none. We can, Ms. Waits, can you take it?
Ms. Carpenter.
Yes.
Ms. Gianni.
Yes.
Ms. Mohan.
Yes.
Mr. Patton.
Yes.
Mr. Richards.
Yes.
5 in favor, none against.
Thank you. Now we'll move to item number 4, and I will ask Ms. Waits to provide a notice of appeal rights.
Yes, after a contested hearing, if a party wishes to appeal the decision made by the board, he or she may do so by filing a writ of certiorari and chance report within 60 days. Any party wishing to pursue an appeal is encouraged to seek independent legal counsel to ensure that all deadlines and procedural requirements are met.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 5, we now have before us consideration of the 2020 lobbyist reports of reports that were not filed or filed late with payment not received. So everyone has that in their package. I would ask everyone to ensure that they are looking at the updated list, which was updated as of March 5, 2021. Also in our package today was that we received last week were 2 notices from the clerk's office to all registered lobbyists. The first being dated December 23rd, reminding registered lobbyists of the upcoming deadlines and the announcement of the new Lobbyist Chapter manual and frequently asked questions and where they would be located. And then a second memo from the clerk's office to all registered lobbyists dated February 2, 2021. And that reminder email went out to only those lobbyists registered in 2020 who had not yet filed the annual lobbyist report. So we've seen the communications from the clerk's office to the lobbyists. And we have before us the March 1 list as updated on March 5 to our board, listing the 2 categories: lobbyists without who have failed to file the report for their lobbying activity in 2021, and lobbyists who filed late, meaning after January 31, 2020, but have failed to submit a late filing fee. Okay, so that is what we have before us for discussion. Does anyone have any questions for the relating to this list, or for the clerk's office or our legal counsel? So if we look at the first 2, well, I guess I will ask, this was updated on the 5th. Is it still accurate as of today? It is, okay.
Yes.
There was, in terms of a late check coming in, there was an indication that there was 1 check mailed on 2/26, and that has not yet been received.
That's right.
Okay. Now, will this list be posted on the lobbyist website in this?
Yes. Well, it looks like a different format because it's an entire spreadsheet that has, it has a little bit more information because it indicates a separate column for anybody who had to disclose any political contributions, and then those are also posted. So there's more information available online.
Okay. So, and I would really recommend that everyone on this board just familiarize yourself with the Lobbyist Registration website or portal that has now been updated with both the manual that we put together, the frequently asked questions, the new forms, and it's laid out very well. And I think it provides a lot of easy access to information needed for lobbyists. So if everyone can familiarize yourself with that. Okay, great. So hearing no questions or discussions regarding this list, we will formally receive it. And I will ask legal counsel, is it your view that we do not need to vote on this? This is merely a receipt of this list, which will be an annual event.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, number 6, is board consideration of payment requirement when reporting deadline falls on a weekend. And I hope everyone understands what this question is, as this is the first year in which a late fee was assessed by ordinance for a late filing of the lobbyist activities report at the end of January. And in this case, there was an individual who filed the next business day after January 31st, which January 31st being a Sunday, and raised the issue or contested the filing that a fee was due under that circumstance, as the filing deadline, January 31st, fell on a Sunday. So there was more of a next business day question. Also, so that question has been raised, and I want to thank the law department for the memo that they provided us, the memorandum of law dated March 4th, which was in our package, which I think kind of clearly and comprehensively and dispositively answers the question of how this language works. So I thank the law department for what I thought was a very clear memo of law that answers the question. I hope everyone's had a chance to read the legal memo. Does anyone have any questions regarding it? And I wonder, just for the record, Ms. Ecke, would you want to just in a kind of briefly answer the question? So it'll be recorded.
Sure. So the Metro Code specifies that the report is to be filed no later than January 31. So the issue is what happens when January 31 falls on a weekend or a holiday. And under the case law, as reflected in the memo, the deadline to file the report is January 31, regardless of whether that date falls on a weekend, on a holiday. That is due to the fact that there's a Metro Code provision that's also a similar provision under state law that talks about how time is to be computed. But that computation of time provision does not apply when the deadline to perform an act is stated as a particular calendar date. So when there's a date certain, like here, the date certain is January 31, no computation is needed. And so that is what the case law provides. If the statute had provided, for example, that the report was to be filed within 30 days of the end of the year, for example, then that computation of time provision would apply. But because it's a date certain, January 31, that code provision, which is similar to the provision in state statutes, does not apply.
Thank you. It's very clear. Will the clerk's office be responding to the individual who raised the question of the $50 late fee with a copy of the memo or any response?
I don't think that's necessary. The individual just indicated that they may challenge it or they will challenge it. They haven't actually done so. So I don't know what pathway the challenge will be.
Okay.
And when that challenge occurs, then legal will respond as appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Does anyone think it might be warranted, or would it be helpful if we added a statement on the website regarding the January 31st date, or is it sufficiently self-evident that that's not even necessary? Wonder if anyone has a thought about that.
This is Elizabeth. I would definitely think that some notation would be helpful if there was a time computation question, or if we weren't accepting these reports by email. But any report that was received on the 30th, which was Saturday, or the 31st, which was Sunday, to our email box was not marked as being late. So
Okay.
just those are my quick thoughts on it.
So maybe it's sufficiently clear then.
Yeah, I don't think it needs another statement.
Okay. Well, again, I want to thank the Law Department for their very clear and comprehensive legal memo on that. So thank you. Okay, so we can move on to item number 7, training discussion, implementation of recommendations issued by Mayor Cooper's Public Integrity Task Force. Again, we were all provided with the slides, the training document created by the law department. And again, I hope that we've all had a chance to review it. Wonder if anyone has any thoughts or questions about it. Much of this we should be very familiar with, as it is largely our charge or subject matter charge to implement the standards of conduct elements of the ordinance, Metro ordinance. This is certainly helpful to have, as it's set forth so clearly. It's a nice resource for us to kind of keep on our desk and have handy. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions about it? My only question was just wondering, either from the law department or Metro Clerk's office, about how this will be used generally throughout Metro. Is this being provided by email to all board members and elected officials? Is there actually going to be, are there in-person trainings or Zoom trainings? Just, I think, since we are the body that hears complaints about violations of the standards, it would be good for us to have just a bit of knowledge about how the training on ethics and public integrity is rolling out, as it appears to be a new element of Metro government.
Sure. I'll say something, just a summary. So, of course, the Public Integrity Task Force, the Mayor's Public Integrity Task Force, recommended in its report that ethics training be provided to boards and commissions. Metro Legal has been asked to provide this training to boards and commissions. So the PowerPoint you have is a template that'll be modified to fit particular boards and commissions. And Metro Legal attorneys are working with staffs of the various boards and commissions to actually schedule a time and date where this training can be provided via Zoom or in person. And as part of that training, the particular PowerPoint will be provided to those board members as part of the training. So legal will actually be providing training to boards and commission throughout this year.
Wow, that's great. Thank you. Does anyone have any thoughts or comments or additional questions for legal? Or do you know if is this an annual training? Although that sounds like it would be an extensive amount of time to do it annually if it's going to be so labor intensive.
I'm not sure at this point, because at this time the template will be provided, or the actual training materials will be provided. Maybe when you have new board members come, the training may be provided to those new members. So we're still trying to decide what will happen going forward. Since if all the board members are still the same, it may be too soon to provide it again to the same board members next year, because unless the information on the PowerPoint has changed, the law has changed, et cetera. So we're still navigating the whole process of how we'll go on moving forward. But definitely when a new board member joins, they'll be provided this information.
That's great. That's good. Wonderful. Well, that's very helpful. It's helpful to our board to ensure that all board members and so forth have this understanding and in this very clear, easy to use training materials. That's very helpful. And so it's nice for us to have as well. Okay, so any other thoughts or questions regarding this matter? Okay, hearing none. Is anyone aware of any other matters that need to be discussed at this time? I don't think we have an additional next meeting date, but I'm not sure at this point that we need to have a scheduled date, as there's nothing before us at this time. Is that correct? Ms. Weiss?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Well, then if there's no other business to conduct at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion, Patton.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.